Hello, friends from the manga world. My name is G,
And I'm Hector.
and we're here to talk about the February 2026 new releases for manga. Hector and we work for Penguin Random House, so the titles that you'll see today are those from those publishers that we represent. Aside from this YouTube channel, we're also on Facebook and Instagram at PRH International Comics, where we'll post some news and updates on those channels. We'll go ahead and get started with our personal picks at the start of this video. Then we'll move on to volume ones, and then we'll leave you with the rest of the list of continuing volumes coming out in February for you to take a look at. And so we'll go ahead and get started with our first pick of this video, and first up is Hector's pick.
Yes, and this is the Ancient Magus Bride Collected Fragments Volume 1 by creator Kore Yamasaki. And this is exactly what the title says, is collects fragments of stories that are not part of the main series or the spin-off series, Ancient Magus Bride Wizard's Blue. And it promises to, it's the first time ever to be translated in English, and it collects, like I said, those short stories that give more it kind of goes deeper into the story of some of the characters, including um, you know Elias and Chise, but also some of the other characters, side characters. um, I love this story. I've been reading and watching the anime. We still haven't had an announcement for the third season, and last season 2023, I believe. So, but the story is just it starts very simple about this ancient magus who buys a bride who's a girl, and you think about and you cringe when you hear it, but then you start reading it, and it is a very beautiful story. And then you also, I know it is very weird to hear that story, but then you need to read enough to get to the part where he explains why he calls her his bride. And it sort of gives a different definition of what bride is. And it's a story about magic. It's a story about there's a lot of story of a lot of topics that are covered, prejudice and diversity and all that in there, but also there's a story that mainly is a story about family found. Um, and I can't wait to read this because I want to read more and more of it. I can't get enough of it, even though we keep getting volumes in English. We just recently in October, Seven Seas published the volume 21 of Ancient Magus Bride. Volume 9 of Wizard's Blue came out last month in November 25th, a couple of weeks ago. And then we'll get this in February, and then we have a couple more volumes. We have Wizard's Blue 10 next year in April, and Magus Bride Volume 22 also in April of next year. Yeah, it's again, I'm really excited about this. This is one that I recommend to everyone if you want to, like, really, if you love fantasy, if you love magic, if you love slice of life combined with magic and fantasy, and there's relationships, but they're not necessarily romantic relationships, but they're people who care deeply about each other. This story is for you, definitely.
Next up, this is Hitting Rewind with You, Volume 1. So we have a character named Wakaba. She is 20 years old and she's a college student. And so she realizes that she was too busy studying in high school that she missed out on like these very quintessential milestones that you typically like see in your teenage years. And she is like sad that she missed out on that. So she says, let me try to like reclaim what I missed. So in this moment of desperation, she goes out on Halloween in her old high school uniform in effort to take back those like heart-fluttering experiences that she never felt before. And in doing so, she encounters Fumito, who is this boy who is also dressed in a high school uniform, and she is whisked away on this like sort of like an after school date of her dreams kind of situation. But she like starts freaking out because she's like forced to reveal her true age. But she only,
Hmm.
when she does that, she finds out that Fumito is also in college. So it's essentially these two college students who are desperately trying to live out their glory days. And they do this in this very sweet and silly rom-com that you have here in this manga. So yeah, so again, for fans of My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999 or Clear Moonlit Dusk, I should say, this is something that I would recommend picking up.
Awesome. And next up is Galaxias #1 by Eo Hatesaka, sorry. And this is a big shonen fantasy action adventure. It's about a country girl who's who longs for adventure, who's very sheltered by her father, and she doesn't know why, and she um, decides she meets this. Her name is Gio, sorry, and she wants to leave the forbidden. This she's forbidden from leaving this island that her father is keeping her in like shelter, and she doesn't know why. And then one day she discovers this boy who has a long tail. This is in a world where humans live alongside these powerful beings that have strange tails, and they're known as dragonfolk. And she meets this boy and uh, called Nereid, who who claims he has lost all his memories. And all of a sudden, Geo sort of finds an excuse to escape and uh, to help Neri, but it's an excuse to kind of get away finally. And then she quickly finds out why her father was sort of hiding her away in this island because for some reason there's people after her. There are people after her. So these two embark on a journey in this new uh, fantasy world. Him trying to get his memories, her trying to get away from those who are trying to harm her, but at the same time trying to figure out why. It is, as the description says, comparable, for fans of One Piece, Soul Eater, Fairy Tail, and Gashakura. But I also get vibes of Made in Abyss. The whole fact that they're like trying to on an adventure, getting away. Also, they're trying to find this famous explorer who might hold the answers. So it does give me a lot of vibes of that, but obviously not as. This is more action packed, I believe, and it feels like it's more of a bigger shonen type of thing. So already the illustrations that I've seen are extremely beautiful, like what you see here on the cover. So, like I said, I'm really really excited for this one for just people who just want to have a really fun read with lots of action and fantasy. I think this one is right up your alley.
My next pick is it's gonna be rom-coms.
We're
Spoiler, it's gonna be
not
rom-coms.
deviating too far away. Yeah.
I guess in like, I mean, good time to pick up some rom-coms in February.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so for this one, this is Love at First Memory, Volume 1. We have a character named Mia who is a famous heiress from the Takanashi group. So ever since she was born, the world was at her feet, essentially. The future of the company is something that she has to think about as an heiress. So she has to consider and decide on a marriage partner pretty early on, to consider the advantages of that partner. And so Mia had set her heart out on one of the several charming suitors that she has choices to pick from. But unfortunately, a freak car accident has left her with amnesia, and it sets her back to square one, and she doesn't remember any of these suitors. Um, and these are wildly four different boys who appear before her, claiming to be the intended fiance. And she doesn't remember which one she ultimately chose initially. And so she just has to try to fall in love with one of them over again. And so this is again a manga story about an heiress battling amnesia with this essentially a self-aware reverse harem rom-com manga, for you to enjoy. And yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. So I chose this.
And then we go to magical buffs. It's like I stayed within magic and you stayed within romance, which is great. Magical buffs. The support caster is stronger than he realized. Light novel volume one. And this is written by Haka Tokura and illustrated by Ei Shirai. And this is the story of Wim Strauss, who uh, is a support mage. He's not very flashy. He just casts support on his party, but they he does so well that he starts to overshadow the hero of the party, main hero. So he gets kicked out of jealousy. And then as he's trying to figure out what to do next, his childhood friend, Hayden Mary, shows up, and she's now a member of a very renowned A rank guild called Natch Tibel, and they're counted as among the strongest in the land. And she offers Wim a chance to join the team and to be among allies who actually appreciate what he does, and and have adventures with them. This it's very simple, straightforward storyline, and the main reason I picked this is because this has become a subgenre that I've fallen in love with, which is the subgenre of, the main character is a support character and he gets kicked out, and then they figure out, oh, he's actually the stronger persons in the party. I looked it up, and there's actually lists of the top ones. I'm just gonna mention a few that I've loved. Like, I left my A rank parry to help my former students reach the dungeon's depths. There's also the healer who was banished from his party is in fact the strongest. Welcome to the Outcast Restaurant. It also has that topic. Uh, Also banished from the hero's party, I decided to live a quiet life in the countryside. And my number one, which it's also available through Seven Seas in English, is Arifureta, from Commonplace to World's Strongest, which I think out of all the ones that I mentioned is the darkest one. But it's also that topic of being kicked out, kind of out of jealousy, and then come back as the strongest uh, character. Uh, Again, this is a some genre that has been growing and growing. There's a lot of manga out there, and a lot of animes, obviously, too. So it's something to check out if you haven't, and to keep an eye out on, uh, because it is, like I said, there's a whole side of fantasy now within manga that is all about this premise, and then sort of changing the story and giving you something new with it within that premise. Yeah, and this one obviously on my list because I'm gonna read everything that has that topic now. So there you go.
All right, come to no surprise, there's another title here in the romance genre. This is Stand By Me. And anytime I hear this title, I automatically think of the soundtrack to the K-drama version of Boys Over Flowers with the song Stand By Me. So I'm like hearing that play in my mind as I'm like thinking about this book. Anyway. This is we have hardcore fans. These are fans of the same idol group. So one of the fans is Korobuki, who's a manicurist, and he agrees to meet up with this other fan named Kazuha. And both of them had initially met on social media, and so they decide to do this meetup for the first time at a live concert, which this happens a lot.
Yeah,
If you're part of the stan culture, this is something that you probably do like have done
have
at least once.
experience. Yeah.
Um, so the man who appears before him has a super intimidating face and looks like a yakuza. So that's concerning, but maybe it's not. I mean, they're both fellow fans. I'm sure they'll have fun going to the concert together. So this is a quirky 18 plus BL manga about two very different boys with a shared love for the same popular idol, and somehow they fall in love amongst themselves. This is coming out of Tokyo Pop. If you like this type of story, there was another manga that was released that you can also get from us called Yakuza Bias, which is sort of like a similar, different, but similar premise of like a Yakuza, someone in the Yakuza who is very much a fan of the idol stan culture. And so if that's something that draws your interest, this is definitely for you. I also love the cover.
Yeah.
The Help fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And I did want to highlight, I don't know, Hector, if you want to go first or.
Sure. This is the Ghost in the Shell Legacy Edition manga box set, which I'm extremely excited about,
Mhm.
and it includes not only it includes a lot. First of all, let's start with
There's out of order on the slide.
yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Oops.
But it's yeah, it's so it's Ghost in the Shell number one, 1.5, and 2, and they have new not only they have new translations, but they've also been printed in the original reading uh, order because originally they were, you know, done, and I always get this right. Help me, G. Uh, for the left to right, and now they're right to left, like they're supposed to be. And of course, they have what you see at the bottom. Those are the covers. They look amazing, very cyberpunk looking, Ghost in the Shelly kind of covers. And then the fourth volume that you see there is a collection of posters um, that have been printed before, but not as a collection. It also includes a sheet of um, stickers um, of multicolored Fushikoma robot stickers.
Mhm.
So you have different colored Fukushima. I can always not say it. Fushikoma um, robots. Um, I believe there's more stuff. Sorry. They're reproducing high quality hardcover, the 3 volumes, right to left, like I said, which wasn't in English before. The same thing that they just did to Akira with the hardcover. Now you can read it in the right to left format in the hardcover version. And if you don't know, yeah, Ghost in the Shell, the original was published in 1991. Number two was published in 2001, and then 1.5 Human Error Processor was published in 2003.
Mhm.
Anything else I missed, G, for this?
Just one thing to mention that it's been decades since well, decades that the English and Japanese edition of this
Hmm.
have never matched with each other. And so what
Yeah.
this Legacy edition does, it restores these pages, as Hector mentioned, um, to the original. And it matches the ultimate uncensored edition that matches the
Yes.
Japanese manga, which is packaged in this box set, which is quite nice. And of course, like Ghost in the Shell, it has this huge legacy. It has influence, like the science fiction genre for many, many
Hmm.
people. And so this is huge. This is a good time to pick it up because um, of the new anime adaptation that is on the horizon. This is
Yes.
with Science Sanru and Netflix. So just something to point out. And as Hector mentioned, we do have the posters. One of them is a new piece, but 10 posters, and it's from the very rare limited edition 1997 Cyberdelics box set that was actually never released in English previously. So they reproduced that in this reproduced it, but added some like features, like special print features, including like etched metallic paper, vinyl stock, holographic, spot gloss. It's gonna like look really, really beautiful. There's posters that come rolled up, which is nice. It's not going to be folded. And it's going to be packed inside the rigid box, inside of the slip case for added protection as it's going to come out. Hector mentioned the stickers. Those are also from Cyberdelics. And there's going to be like a ton of like cool stuff in here packaged together. There's going to be like a double-sided poster with Shinro Sensei's explanation of his artistic process
Right.
and the poster art that's never been, again, translated into English. So this is like for the ultimate collector. This is something that is you don't want to miss out on for sure. So, and
Yeah.
it's packaged beautifully.
Exactly. Very, very cool.
Right, and continuing on, we have the Scum Villain Self-Saving System. This is the deluxe hardcover novel box set. So it's a limited edition. It includes a set of 4 volumes of this best-selling series. It's going to be one printing only for this, so you want to make sure you pick it up before we run out of stock once it comes
Hmm.
out. So if you aren't familiar, this is a blockbuster Danmei BL novels from China, and it follows a very funny, hilarious story of a man who's reborn as a fantasy novel villain who ends up romanticizing the male protagonist. So a lots of hijinks and comedy comes from that. And of course, it inspired the animated series Scumbag System, which amassed millions of views, streaming views when that came out. Of course, this is going to be actually this is going to be the deluxe hardcover re-release of the English language paperbacks that we have. Just so you know, there are different edition options that you can pick up. But, the hardcovers are really nice because
Yeah.
of the embellishments, the special embellishments that's going to be included. This is just like a mock-up. These are what you're looking at here is not finalized images, but you can get a sense of like you'll see all of the volumes. This is an example of one that features the dust jacket with all new art and foil. It'll have new bookmarks. Um, uh, or like a ribbon bookmark, I should say. Foil illustrations against the hardcovers themselves, elaborate printed edges. You're not seeing the printed edges here, but on the previous slide, you can kind of see the sprayed edges on the side here. I mentioned the ribbon bookmark. Um, and the 4 books are encased in this slip case, which is going to be beautiful. It's going to come with a mini art book for the series with 2 all new mini posters inside. So again, like I said, each box set is a limited, this is going to be a limited edition printing, so it's going to be numbered as well, just so you know. And yeah, again, this is for the fans who probably already have this on their shelves, but they
Yeah,
probably would want, for me, I definitely will pick up another one of these just because it's so
of course.
beautiful. And then, of course, something a little bit different, but wanted to point it out because Camila de Erco, who does a lot of these, not just the coloring books,
Yeah.
um, but if you ever heard of this name, especially in the United States, because she does a lot of conventions, so often see
Hmm.
her on the show floor, and she does beautiful, beautiful manga style art. I'm excited because I know that she's coming out with her blind box. I'm such a blind box fiend. I love it. So she had designed her own that she's
Hmm.
putting out too. But anyway, just so you know, this is a like a manga, pop manga paint and ink coloring book that she's putting out. You'll find like magical creatures, cute animals, and again, it's like manga inspired illustrations in her like signature pop surrealistic style. And you
Hmm.
can use paint, markers, colored pencils, crayons, because of the thickness of the paper. So you can add your artistic flair to these drawings that you'll see inside. So this will include um, 11 brand new drawings, but it'll also include her favorite pieces from her previous coloring books as well. So you can think of this as the ultimate, like if you're new to her, this would be great just to experience what kind of style, artistic style she has. I'll include it here. So of course it's printed on thick paper, watercolor friendly paper, black and white. I said 11 brand new, but drawings, but just so you know that this is a 48 page
Yeah.
perforated coloring book, so you can tear it out and
Hmm.
display on your walls, for instance. But there's actually 24 colorful images that you could color in. It will
Yeah.
be colorful once you color it in. And so, yeah, this is like a great playground for you to like uh, use your creativity to paint or color and so forth. If you haven't gone into like
The stress.
coloring book,
Yeah.
TikTok, or social media, it's such a huge I mean, it's still, I know that there was a coloring book boom, but it's still
A
going.
craze. Yeah, yeah.
There is still a craze for it. And I get it because it's like a really relaxing, cozy like activity that you can do, which is
Hmm.
nice. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, and like you mentioned, this is collecting some of the best, her favorite ones, and we have her other coloring books in the pop manga series, but also there are some other coloring book big ones like Herbie Rosanes and Johanna Basfer. And it's like, if you want to get into coloring books, we have tons of them. Penguin Random House
Mhm.
has so many, but this one stands out because she's been all over the conventions, and also she's very big online for sure.
Mhm.
Hmm.
All right, we'll continue on for what's volume one and one shots.
Yeah, and I'll get started. I need to get my glasses on, and we start with Aharon-san is indecipherable. Indecipherable Omnibus, Volume 1 and 2. And this is the manga that inspired the adorable anime, available in two-volume omnibuses. A socially awkward girl befriends her seatmate in this heartwarming rom-com series. Next up is Ayaka is in love, sorry, with Hiroko. Volume 1. This Girl's Love Workplace Rom-Com is by popular Twitter artist Sal Young. Features two love-struck co-workers who each think the other is straight. And then we have Blue Lock Omnibus, the first one. Volume includes volumes 1 to 3. The manga that became a worldwide sports action phenomenon returns in a new 3-in-1 omnibus edition featuring sculpted embossed covers. Get ready for the real World Cup. with the soccer manga that's conquered the globe. Includes, like, again, volumes 1 to 3. And then last on this slide, we have Destiny, Paradise Night, a star-crossed meet cute between an ordinary man and an idol sparks and unique boys' love romance.
Okay, and continuing on, we have ex-rank lover. My doting ex-boyfriend wants to make love to me again and again! Exclamation point. Um, a receptionist falls for the ambitious salesman at her office who just happens to be her high school flame. So, softy office reunion romance with this one. Next up, we have First Love Reunion. A decade later, my high school crush is determined to make me his. Uh, so if you like that, I guess, topic, this is another one to pick up too. This is a steamy adult romance about second chance with a high school crush. And then next up, we have Ghost in Witch Volume 1. This is from the mind behind the Ancient Magnus Bride, which Hector mentioned before, in that collection. Comes this brand new tale about a girl and the being possessing her as they travel around the vast country of Ireland. I believe I talked about this before, so I'm really
Yeah.
excited for this to come out. And then we have Habana. This is from Seven Seas. It's actually looking at the art, I'm like, this makes sense because the art is very
Yeah.
unique with this creator. So it's from the mastermind behind Classmates, Dokisei, which I do recommend picking up because that's also really good. Also, the anime adaptation is really good for classmates. So this is a new title coming out from the creator about a dark romance about a girl, her boyfriend, and a transfer student he refuses to leave alone.
Next up on volume ones, we have I Like Villains. So I reincarnated as one. Light novel volume one. When one man is isekai'd into the game he's been playing, he winds up becoming the doomed villain. Can his knowledge of the game help him avoid a disastrous fate, or will his meddling cause more harm? A fantasy light novel about rewriting fate and facing the inevitable. Then we continue with In So Deep, It's Love Already, Volume 1. This unconventional teen romantic comedy manga features a heartbroken fangirl main lead and a shy, easily embarrassed love interest. Yeah, you can see he's very embarrassed. And then we continue with The Knight and Her Emperor, Volume 1. Against all odds, a talented yet overlooked female knight joins forces with an ambitious young king to unite a divided empire in this slow-burn romantasy manhwa adaptation of GM's hit web novel, now available in English print for the first time. And then we have my favorite VTuber is Scary IRL, 1, Volume 1. An introverted delivery boy befriends a shy but intimidating shut-in who happens to be his favorite VTuber in real life.
Mhm. All right, next up we have Otaku and Gal Volume 1. What do a geeky boy and a trendy girl have in common? It's actually more than you think. What is it? You have to read it, find out. Next up, I love how it looks like the perspective of her putting on the geeky
Yeah,
boys' glasses.
yeah.
'Cause that's an indicator. Uh, Perfect Addiction Volume 1. What starts as a challenge quickly becomes an addiction for two men as they discover the secret to pleasure goes beyond physical indulgences. So it's a very sexy BL romance that brings on the spice. Next up, we don't have a cover image for this one, but I kid you not, it's going to be beautiful when it does. Knowing, yeah, knowing that this is from the author of the very popular sci-fi manga Ajin, of course, this is gonna look beautiful. This is going to be a new sci-fi thriller. So drop 30 miles from home base on an alien planet. We have Chief Yukioshi who must lead her men and the exploratory excavation crew they find stranded in an abandoned mine to safety as alien monsters close in on them for both sides. But not is all what it seems, and there may be more than one danger lurking in the dark. And so the creator is very, very good at
I like,
very like
yeah,
horror um like
yeah.
art. So I can't
I
wait to
like
see
the
what the episode
title,
looks
The
like.
Pool, just The Pool. I like it.
Yeah, the pool. And then we have A Prince and a Friend, Volume 1. An unpopular teen seeks dating help from his handsome childhood friend who happens to be a girl in this shonen rom-com, but will her hands-on approach to teaching him cause a rush of unexpected feelings.
All right. And sorry, we keep going with the Scheming Crown Princess Wicked Consort manga, Volume 1. A powerful warrior whose strength and reputation strike fear in the hearts of the enemies, of her enemies, and her potential love interest. An action packed manga about a woman who must produce an heir and her challenge to find a man brave enough to help her conceive. Then we continue with the tale of a little alchemist blessed by the spirits, light novel, volume 1, the enduring light novel series about a young alchemist who gets a second chance at life and makes better use of her extraordinary powers. Inspired a manga and an anime. And then we continue with Wait, I Love You, volume 1. Things heat up on set in this boys' love story between an aspiring actor and his stylish boyfriend. And then last we have Wonder Vogel Volume 1, a romantic mystery filled that keeps readers guessing. This is a fantastic BL story for those who love a quick read. There you go.
Mhm.
That's it for the number ones and one
Yes.
shots.
Yep, that's it for that. But we'll exit off the screen here, but we do recommend continuing on so you can see all the other volumes that are coming out in the month of February, 2026. Again, Hector and I, we enjoy doing these, so definitely check us out again on this channel and check out our other videos as well. Thank you all for joining us, and again, check out our links below, and we'll leave you here for now, but stay on.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.